Mr. Forrest,
Here.
Mr. Ingraffia,
Here.
Mr. Joseph,
Present.
Mr. Bruno,
Here.
Mr. Richtel,
Here.
Mr. Mayhew,
Here.
Mr. Wells,
Here.
Mr. Vial,
Here.
Miss Hyde,
Here.
Miss Coates,
Here.
Thank you. Public input, anyone wish to address any agenda item? Hearing none, the chair will entertain a motion to adopt the minutes dated December 27th, 2021.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Dion. Second. Second by Mr. Mayhew. Roll call, please.
Mr. Ingraffia,
Yes.
Mr. Joseph,
Yes.
Mr. Bruno, Mr. Richtel,
Yes.
Mr. Mayhew,
Yes.
Mr. Wells,
Yes.
Mr. Vial,
Yes.
Miss Hyde,
Yes.
Miss Coates,
Yes.
Mr. Forrest,
Yes.
That motion passes and so on. We'll entertain punch to the file matters. Approve the purchase education equipment and Lucas device.
Yes, sir. We're going to take one at a time. The extrication equipment, we do have, I think y'all have it in y'all's packet, is a quote from MES, Municipal Emergency Services. They are the sole source provider of this equipment, so that there's also a sole source letter that's in your packet. Ponchatoula is looking to purchase some extrication equipment. They're looking to do 2 cutters, 2 spreaders, 2 rams, 4 chargers, 12 batteries, and a PPV fan. The total amount that it comes to is $64,735.04.
Is that the same as the Jaws of Life?
Yes, sir, it is. They're buying 2 sets, basically.
Okay, motion by Mrs. Hyde,
And I'll second.
second by Ms. Coates. Roll call, please.
Mr. Joseph,
Yes.
Mr. Bruno, Mr. Richtel,
Yes.
Mr. Mayhew,
Yes.
Mr. Wells,
Yes.
Mr. Vial,
Yes.
Miss Hyde,
Yes.
Miss Coates,
Yes.
Mr. Forrest,
Yes.
Mr. Ingraffia,
Yes.
Motion is approved for education equipment out there.
The Lucas device. So the Lucas device is a chest compression machine. It's actually the CPR machine that they use. It's a very good device. There is statistics showing that the survival rate has increased using this type of machine. Besides that, it does relieve the person that used to do manual chest compressions. It relieves him of a long time doing that job. It is very strenuous, but it is a good machine that they have. Same thing with this. There is one company that handles this particular Lucas device, a Lucas 3. So in the packet, there's also a sole source letter explaining that they are the sole source for that device. Ponchatoula is looking to purchase 2 of these devices, and again, I think it's a great addition to them. So the 2 devices come to a total of $43,014 even.
I'll make,
Set up a hand compression.
It's a machine that does the compressions for them.
Dennis, does every department has at least one?
No, sir, they don't. As you can see, it is quite expensive. I know 8th Ward just recently got a grant for one, I believe. Kentwood has them, City of Hammond has them. The Independence Fire Department is exploring this right now. It's a costly machine, so
Dennis, is it something that straps on, or is
it kind of goes around them,
Right.
right?
and it just, it
Straps
does
around,
compressions for them.
Wow.
I'll make that motion.
For all the municipalities or mayors and that are looking at this on the internet, I wish they would consider contacting you to try to attain such a device.
There's, I know City of Hammond is looking at them, along with Hammond Rural, and I suggested to them that they kind of package that deal together, and if they were buying, 1, see how much that
Okay.
price is. If they're buying 2, how much is that? Just to kind of package a deal together. So I think that's what City of Hammond and the Hammond Rural Department's doing.
Robbie left. Robbie needs to look at it too. Who trains the people how to use this?
They do come out and the company provides training for it.
Okay. I'll entertain a motion.
Also move.
Motion by Ms. Hyde,
And I'll second.
second by Ms. Coates. Roll call, please.
Mr. Bruno? Mr. Richtel?
Yes.
Mr. Mayhew?
Yes.
Mr. Wells?
Yes.
Mr. Vial?
Yes.
Ms. Hyde?
Yes.
Ms. Coates?
Yes.
Mr. Forrest?
Yes.
Mr. Ingraffia?
Yes.
Mr. Joseph?
Yes. Motion passes and so ordered. That takes care of Ponchatoula Fire matters. Let's move on to Hustle Fire matters. Ratification of approval of part-time positions.
Yes, sir. It is two positions. And they're both part-time. One position, he is asking for $9 per hour, and the other position is they're asking for $10 per hour. The chief has submitted all of the paperwork. It is good to go with this.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion. Motion by Mr. Mayhew,
Second.
second by Mr. Ingraffia. Roll call, please.
Mr. Richtel? Yes. Mr. Mayhew?
Yes.
Mr. Wells?
Yes.
Mr. Vial?
Yes.
Ms. Hyde?
Yes.
Ms. Coates?
Yes.
Mr. Forrest?
Yes.
Mr. Ingraffia?
Yes.
Mr. Joseph?
Yes.
Mr. Bruno?
That motion passes and it is so ordered. Wilma Fire matters.
All right, the chief has it's their rescue truck. It ran into some mechanical problems. The chief did bring it in. They did do some work on it, and to the tune of $15,413. They replaced the engine on this truck. They did a lot of work. On those trucks, when you do the work, you have to actually remove the cab, take off the cab off the chassis to go ahead and do the work. So this work was done. I did explain to the chief that, he should have gotten quotes along the way. But now, the chief has a bill of $14,413.58.
Okay.
I'll make the motion. It's $15,413.58.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, $15,413.
Okay. Motion by Mr. Forrest, second by Mr. Bruno. Roll call, please.
Mr. Mayhew?
Yes.
Mr. Wells?
Yes.
Mr. Vial?
Yes.
Ms. Hyde?
Yes.
Ms. Coates?
Yes.
Mr. Forrest?
Yes.
Mr. Ingraffia?
Yes.
Mr. Joseph?
Yes.
Mr. Bruno? Mr. Richtel?
Yes.
The motion passes and is so ordered. 8th Ward Fire matters. Ratification of approval of fire chief position.
Yes, sir. We have a new fire chief out in 8th Ward. It is David Byers. David's in the audience here. I think that the department would be left in good hands with David. David, you want to come up here? David's actually retired out of the fire department's out of the plants, so he does come with a lot of experience. Met with David on numerous occasions, and I think it's going to be a very good addition to the 8th Ward Department of having him as the chief. He is asking for the rate, his salary to be $26,928 even. $928.
Well, we'll approve that.
Also move.
Motion by Mr. Vial, second by Mr. Hyde. Roll call.
Mr. Wells?
Yes.
Mr. Vial?
Yes.
Ms. Hyde?
Yes.
Ms. Coates?
Yes.
Mr. Forrest?
Yes.
Mr. Ingraffia?
Yes.
Mr. Joseph?
Yes.
Mr. Bruno?
Yes.
Mr. Richtel?
Yes.
Mr. Mayhew?
Yes.
Motion passes and so ordered.
Welcome aboard.
Yes.
Mr. Byers, Dennis and I'll be by to see you. Have you scheduled that yet? Make sure.
No, we will be
come in
scheduling.
and have a chat, drink some coffee with you. Good luck to you. Laranja Fire matters. Ratification of approval of pay increase.
Yes, sir. The person in question has gained his EMR and what else, Justin? Firefighter 1 certification. So he is asking for, the chief is requesting a pay increase from $8 per hour to $10 per hour.
Okay, motion by Mr. Bruno,
Second.
second by Mr. Vial. Roll call, please.
Ms. Hyde,
Yes.
Ms. Coates,
Yes.
Mr. Forrest,
Yes.
Mr. Graffia,
Yes.
Mr. Joseph,
Yes.
Mr. Bruno,
Yes.
Mr. Richtel,
Yes.
Mr. Mayhew,
Yes.
Mr. Wells,
Yes.
Mr. Vial,
Yes.
Motion passes and so ordered. Approval, that's Albany Fire Matters. Approval to repair truck.
Yes, this is in your packet also. It is, this is the truck that was involved in an accident. We did get an insurance, we did make an insurance claim on it. The total price to get the truck repaired is $47,062.95. The insurance sent us a check for $37,398.65. The difference is it's our deductible, $5,000 deductible. And then what they wouldn't do, they wouldn't replace some tires on it. So while the truck was, being repaired, they replaced tires on the truck. That's the one that was involved in that, Donnie, what was the one? No, that's the one that was pulling out of. Oh, that's the tick bar. Yeah, the tick bar truck.
Yeah.
Also move.
Second.
Okay. Motion by Mr. Richards, second by Mr. Mayhew. Roll call, please.
Mr. Vial,
Yes.
Ms. Hyde,
Yes.
Ms. Coates,
Yes.
Mr. Forrest,
Yes.
Mr. Graffia,
Yes.
Mr. Joseph,
Yes.
Mr. Bruno,
Yes.
Mr. Richtel,
Yes.
Mr. Mayhew,
Yes.
Mr. Wells,
Yes.
Okay, the motion passes and is so ordered. We're now down to monthly reports and registers.
They should have been emailed to y'all.
Any questions?
You should have them in your packets.
Going once, going twice, 3 times. Administrative report.
All right, this update on station repairs.
Let me say this, as you all recall, last time we met, we asked that this item be placed on the agenda until such time that all the stations have been repaired.
Yes.
Okay.
So I went out and I met with Justin. We did have a contractor come out to meet with us and look it over. Went from there, we went from Laranja, we went to Ponchatoula Fire Department and looked at their damage. And then we took a ride to the Manchac Department and looked at their damage. What I'm asking today is for the board to give me approval so we can hire an architect. Definitely have to have an architect. We have to have a set of plans for at least the Laranja station, and then we're gonna have to probably have a set of plans drawn up for the Manchac situation out there. The other thing that we're kind of looking at is obtaining the services of a surveyor, so we know where the property line's at, so we know where we can place the stations at. Like I said, the Ponchatoula station, the Laranja station, that's gonna have to be totally built. I do have like I said, we met out with one of the contractors. I do have an appointment that's coming up to meet with another contractor to go over there, but we have to have some sort of plans that they can look at to bid on it. So.
All right, but then it's like, you got me confused now. Where's Justin? You don't have the plans from when that station was built?
That station was built many years ago, and that was a one-bay station. If you remember, that's the one on East Cooper Road. That's by closer to Mr. Bruno's area house. But we had to put it was a building that we had to put there for. We did another station we built actually, so he can obtain retain his fire rating. So it was 2 buildings that was actually there, and both of them got destroyed by a tree during Ida. So that station was probably built 50 years ago, 60 years ago.
No, I built that when I first came and all.
All right, well, that's probably 50 years ago.
Well, Dennis,
It's been there 30 years alone.
well, I can understand a contractor, but I can't wrap my arms around An architect, I can't see that. I mean, unless y'all can help me with it.
Well, we need to we need to get a set of plans, to where he can design his station.
Are you
Hey,
serious?
hey,
Well, that's solved then. Yeah. Wait,
well,
wait,
the
Joey.
one, this one
Hold up,
contract,
Dennis,
I'm
hold
sorry.
up, hold up. Say that again.
I said I'll volunteer to do it if that's okay to do it.
Can y'all
do
live with that?
Ethically? Is there an ethical question involved in that? Since you're
There's
gonna
no
go-
money
Not
involved.
if it's a it's
No,
a
I'm just asking
volunteering,
a
you know?
question.
Yeah, it's no money
I'm
involved. I
not
don't see.
criticizing them.
Legal
asking-
counsel
As long as he's doing it.
for free?
That's
Yeah, as
what
long as there's no compensation involved,
Right.
it's just volunteering.
Okay, that's why I asked the question.
Well, I'll go along with that, but I can't go along with an outside person. I just don't.
Metal building, the company's gonna draw you a set of.
Well, yeah, so the one contractor that we met with, he, you know, we sat out there for quite some time. He did do a building that Justin and I are both gonna go take a ride to look at in, what? Hillsdale Fire Department, that he built a station. And it was, I think over there, they built a 3-bay with a little living quarters. We just need a little 2-bay with a small little living quarters.
Well, y'all know how I feel.
So there are some plans that we could probably look at and modify them.
Well, my only question is, you know, if we take somebody that's a builder and bring him out there, and he submits a plan, then you kind of give an unfair advantage to the guy you're taking out there. So I'd rather see us get a draft person to
go
draft
Bridget.
the thing,
That way,
put it out for everybody.
they both can look at it and give a price on the same, I totally agree.
But, you know, I don't wanna pin you down where,
No.
but if we can get, if Bridget would be willing to do that, then that way y'all can take the plan and submit it to whoever you want to,
Right.
you know? But I would feel uncomfortable if we did it to one person or even two,
Yeah.
and then they're kinda locked in and nobody else can, you know, bid on it.
Yes, sir, I agree.
But, maybe if Justin and you can get with Bridget, kinda sketch out what y'all want, and then, cause that's the only one that we have a complete building.
Yes, as of right now,
And the other
yes.
ones are repairs to what's
Yes.
existing.
All right, again, Bridget, you'll do this pro bono. You're a good lady.
Now,
Can we furnish your pencils?
a big one, a big fat one?
You don't use pencils.
Yeah, it's on that computer with all of
All
the,
right, we don't need a motion to that effect,
Mr.
do we?
Lewis,
Okay.
I got a question.
Go ahead,
Are they
Joey.
having to pull the slab out and everything, start from
well, no,
scratch, or-
see, and that's something that we need to, you know, look at is, kinda incorporating the existing slab that's there, instead of spending money to bust it up and take it out. So, I mean, I would suggest that kind of incorporate what's already there, just kind of add on to it.
We got one other situation there. That piece of property, the school board gave me a 100-year lease. The school board owns that 5 acres right there. It's
Yes.
split by the road. Have y'all been able to find?
We do have the legal description.
Okay.
We've got the legal description, but we
I
just,
think you do need to survey.
we need to survey it so we can make sure that it's put in the right spot.
This is a crazy piece of property. There's a family been living on that property for about 50 years. It's school board property. Yeah, they got a house, they built a house on it.
They built the house.
And I don't think they can throw them off now after that long. I mean,
They must have built that house themselves.
So do you need a full survey or just property boundaries?
We need to know, yeah, where the property boundaries are so we can place the
Because
building.
I don't think why spend the money on a full survey if you're just trying to find your points? right?
the corner.
Yeah.
You may not want to find the corner.
Well, that's the thing, you know?
His house.
Could be in the living room.
Discussion on 7. Okay, let's go to item 8.
Wait, do you need a motion to let him get a survey?
I would think so.
I'll make a motion to allow the administrator to hire a survey, get the corners for the Laranger station and on Cooper Road.
Second.
Now, we also have to look at, when the time comes for the man shack station, on what's got to be done there. Probably so.
I don't want that surveyed right now. I don't think we ought to spend the money on that right now. I think we need to, Mr. Joseph and.
And we're going to meet to
and
discuss
Bridget-
that.
Yes,
Yeah,
we
we're
need
going
to
to
actually
discuss
have a
what
meeting.
needs to be done out there.
We need to have a meeting first.
Motion second.
The second one's Mr. Bial.
Okay.
Ms. Hyde,
Yes.
Ms. Coates,
Yes.
Mr. Forrest,
Yes.
Mr. Ingraffia.
Yes.
Mr. Joseph.
Yes.
Mr. Bruno. Mr. Richtel. Mr. Mayu.
Yes.
Mr. Wells.
Yes.
Mr. Vial.
Yeah. Yes.
Make sure you tell the surveyor to go talk to the people in the house before you go.
Yeah. Justin and I had a discussion earlier today. Yes, y'all just did it for the council. Mr. Dennis James was supposed to be here. He is a little under the weather, so he asked that this be adopted by the fire board.
Ms. Coates,
Yes.
Mr. Forrest,
Yes.
Mr. Ingraffia.
Yes.
Mr. Joseph.
Yes.
Mr. Bruno. Mr. Richtel. Mr. Mayu.
Yes.
Mr. Wells.
Yes.
Mr. Vial.
Yes.
Ms. Hyde.
Yes.
The only other thing, our board secretary is out under the weather, so was not able to attend tonight's meeting.
I got one. Okay. We lost a really, really good friend of the fire district, Mr. Lee Gray, passed away.
Yes.
And, Mr. Lee, I had the pleasure of working with him for over 30 years, and, there's probably no finer gentleman than he was. He always told you how it was. You may have not liked what he told you, but he was gonna shoot straight with you. And, it was a pleasure working with him and Laura still, but, it was a really sad loss to Amy, because he was a statesman. Me and Mr. Dial, we went to the wake and, we saw Laura, and they really appreciated that the fire board was represented.
Yeah, I called and expressed condolences on behalf of the fire as well. I had to see that gentleman saying the same thing.
First time I met Mr. Lee, he was my accounting professor at Southeastern.
Why do you handle that money so well? Look, before we go in further, let me say this. I just want to let all these fire chiefs know how much we appreciate what you all do. If I walked out of the house this afternoon, come to see my son in the news, I didn't get all the details, but I did get this. That not one, not two, but 3 firefighters lost their lives trying to save some people in a complex in Baltimore, Maryland. So it's a dangerous job, but we appreciate what you guys do. Other fire matters.
None.
The chair would use this little discretion. I want to invite Mr. Dwayne Nash up to the podium to say hello to the board.
Hello. My name's Dwayne Mesh. I'm with the Acadian Ambulance. I think I know just about everybody here. Just wanted to let you know that, yeah, absolutely. These guys are an asset to Tangipahoa and the residents here, and we very much support them. They are a big part of what we're able to do out in the fields. Without them, it would be very hard for any service to meet what needs to be met for the residents here. So I second what you say.
And just for the record, Dwayne was 16 when I got
Pretty close.
You're up, Mr. Wells.
I'll make a motion that we adjourn.